So, looking at the challenges which were there before the newly formed India, there were two major issues if you see. One was of course the social issue and other was the economic issue. Social issue meaning to say that now the divisions had to be healed. That is the caste divisions, the religion divisions which were there, all of them had to be healed in order to have a strong united India. So, this was the social problem faced by New India. The second problem was of economic development. That is, not only to achieve economic development, but to achieve it in such manner that everybody would get an equal share of it, whether in the rural areas or in the urban areas, so that everybody would come at par with each other. So, the disparity both social and economic had to be resolved. That were the major challenges, problems before the newly formed independent India. Now, let us see at the Constitution of India. After India attained independence, it took 3 years from 1946 to 1949 and some 300 meetings which actually gave the shape of Indian Constitution. It came into force on 26 January 1950 and since India was made a republic, therefore, that day every year in the history of India is celebrated as the Republic Day of India. Now, let us look at the features of the Indian Constitution. The first feature is universal adult franchise. India immediately after independence granted universal adult franchise, that is right to vote to everybody irrespective of color, caste, creed or gender. In other countries of the world, even the developed ones, that is in England, France and even in America, the people had to really struggle for years to get this universal adult franchise. In the beginning, it were only the rich people who had the right to vote, then followed by the educated and then by the other sections and ultimately by the women. But in India, immediately with one stroke after independence, the Constitution of India granted universal adult franchise. The second feature of the Indian Constitution is, it says that Indian Constitution maintains equality before law. Again, which means that all people irrespective of their belongings and their social hierarchy, they are equal before the eyes of law. All of us have the same punishments for any crime that we have committed, and the Constitution of India shall see that all of us get the best privileges and the best appointments and the best whatever it can give. The third feature of the Indian Constitution is, in spite of the fact that there is equality before law, the Constitution framers knew that there are certain depressed section of the society who have been living under bad conditions from the past many years. So, to bring in true sense equality, special privileges were granted to certain sections of the society like the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe, and untouchability was totally abolished. It is considered a crime according to the Constitution of India, and of course, the Adivasis who had been left at a bad state because of the forest laws were also given special privileges in the Indian Constitution. And this was just to safeguard the interest and to bring the entire section of the population at one head. The next feature of the Indian Constitution is division of power. That is, the Indian Constitution, when it was being framed, wanted to decide whether the central government or the state government should be more powerful. And how should the powers be divided? There were some who felt that center should be more powerful because center will actually have hold over all the states and it is very important. But some felt that giving all the powers to the center was like almost having democracy in the center and the states would become mere puppets. But ultimately, the Constitution of India has given a beautiful framework according to which there are 3 lists of the Indian Constitution: union, state and concurrent list, and according to this, the powers have been equally shared by the central state and the local governments, which means that there is a clear display of the division of power. And the very important subjects have been kept in the center list, and which is called as the union list, and the lesser important or those concerned with the state have been kept in the state list, and those concerning with the local region have been kept in the third list, that is the concurrent list, on which both center and the state can formulate laws. Then another feature of the Constitution is the language. According to this, the Indian Constitution had the biggest problem of which language should be made the national language of the country. Some felt that English should be forbidden as the Britishers had left, but there were others who were not ready to take Hindi as the national language, and people like T.T. Krishnamachari gave the voice of the South when he said that if Hindi is made the official language of the country, then the people of South will be forced to leave India. This was like an ultimatum. Therefore, Hindi is the official language of the country, but English has been made as a language of communication. So, these are the features of the Indian Constitution.